All right, and we're back.
Okay. So, is this it? Is this the Christmas episode?
I think this is the Christmas episode.
This is the Christmas episode.
Although by the time it comes out, we'll have dated ourselves
Yes.
very heavily.
Yes. If this comes out even anywhere close to Christmas, my God.
No, not even close.
It's not going to happen.
And if you're noticing we sound a little different than last time, it's because we're in the same room.
Because it's the Christmas episode.
It's the Christmas episode, yeah.
Excellent.
So between the last recording and this one, I played VR for the first time.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was very taken aback by how immersive VR was, how easily your brain is tricked by VR.
I told you.
Yeah, and now I have VR because it's Christmas.
Yes. So I made good on my promise.
Yeah, so it's great.
So what have you played?
I played Super Hot VR, and that was great. That was my good introduction. I mean, that game is perfect because of the time mechanic. It really lets you enjoy how free you are in the VR.
I was a little worried about that game when I first heard about it because I know that how Super Hot worked because I have that. I've had it. I've beaten it. It's good. It's a good game. But like when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, well, Super Hot works because it's like there's you don't have to move your mouse until you move, and I was like, oh boy, if you twitch even a tiny bit, you're just gonna get shot in the face.
Yeah.
And the answer is sort of yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
But in a fun way.
You have to really keep yourself still, yeah. But it's great. I enjoyed that, and then I played Blade and Sorcery.
Which is excellent.
Yeah, which is also very fun.
Yeah, that game's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw there's a Star Wars like lightsaber force power mod.
I'm surprised there aren't like more of those kinds of games out for VR. It's like it seems kind of like the logical thing. Like, why aren't there a bazillion lightsaber or lightsaber-esque games?
Because EA owns the license.
Yeah, well, okay.
For Star Wars, that's why.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
There's a good reason there.
Actually, that's the other thing too. Why aren't there? The one thing that I've been missing is why aren't there that many? I know there's one that I'm aware of. I can't remember what the name of it is off the top of my head, but of more like giant robot games, like sit in the cockpit, pilot a giant robot.
I don't know. I mean, even Armored Core has really not released anything because of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
They've been rolling in the money.
Because that would be really nice for VR. Like sitting in a cockpit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that MechWarrior 5 game just came out and it doesn't have VR support for some reason,
Why?
which is crazy. Yeah.
I want it, forget about I don't need a 40-button Steel Battalion controller because you can just have as many buttons as you want.
Yeah.
For as many different mechs as you want. I want that in my life. So, because Elite Dangerous,
yeah,
I mean, that works, and that's great. So why not? Well, anyway. So, VR developers, come on, mech game. Let's do it. Anytime would be great, Maybe by the time this podcast comes out.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yes.
Yeah, I that would be amazing. Yeah, I would give anything for a VR Armored Core game or just MechWarrior or BattleTech.
Yeah.
That would all be great, but no.
Armored Core would probably make me vomit.
Well, I mean,
the new style of Armored Core, not the old style.
if it's Miyamoto doing the Armored Core games, then yeah, you're gonna vomit.
Yeah, just like, oh, okay, just go like, the speed of sound.
Yeah, constantly.
Constantly.
Never stop moving.
Yeah, it would be a little bit of a thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, so we'll probably do another follow-up to this after you check out your VR headset. So I got you, it was a Rift S?
Yeah, Rift S.
Which I'm very excited. I'm excited to see how that works out, because I've never used one, and maybe after this podcast we're going to check it out.
Yeah,
got the laptop, we might check it out.
There's no way. I don't think this laptop even has a DisplayPort adapter.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we'll have to see if the thing has
it says DisplayPort and mini DisplayPort.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I'm pretty sure this only has HDMI.
Fair enough.
And this thing struggles to run Dark Souls 3.
Okay.
Like, I have to play Dark Souls 3 on low.
So it'll catch on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's already catching on fire just from recording audio a little bit. So
whoa, 2 people talking at once.
Yeah.
Don't know if I can handle it.
Exactly.
A little bit too much.
Having to encode things.
All right. Well, I guess we should just jump into the main event so we can get back to Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. So we are going to talk about the bad times at the El Royale.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is a movie.
It is a movie.
It's a very movie though.
It's something, all right.
Like, it's not.
So okay, all right. So let's start off. Let's ground ourselves. So what did you think of this movie?
I loved it.
You
thought
loved
it was great. Yeah.
You thought it was great.
Okay. It was a nice traditional return to form of like just a nice movie.
Okay.
Nothing like, that crazy or outgoing about it, but also it's not like just an action schlock film. It's like, it's that nice middle ground where you don't get a lot of movies nowadays that are just like a nice middle ground kind of movie.
Okay. I did not care for it.
Really?
So this is the discussion.
Sure, yeah.
I did not care for this movie. And here's the thing. It wasn't a bad movie. About halfway through the movie, I was like, you've killed all the storylines that I think I care about. And now I'm just left waiting for you to pay off.
Yes.
For about half a movie.
Yes.
And then it just didn't for me. That was kind of where I left it. So, like, here's my impression of this, right? Like, we started the movie off, and first of all, that opening shot I really liked.
Yeah.
Like, I was in this movie.
The movie is beautifully shot.
It's very well. Some portions of it are very well shot. Some portion of it, I was just kind of bored with. I was like, well, okay, I guess it's all right. It's fine. But like that first opening shot, it kind of reminded me a little bit of Wes Anderson. Like the very squared framing, where it's just like long takes, squared framing. I was like, oh, this is interesting. I like this. And then like the very abrupt, guy comes in and just blows the guy to smithereens.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, and I was getting a lot of I was getting like Wes Anderson vibes. I was getting Tarantino vibes.
Definitely.
I was like, okay, I'm on board with this. And like the opening scenes to the movie are very interesting and compelling. And I guess maybe my biggest problem that I had right off the bat is I got invested in the FBI agent character. I was like, I like this. This is interesting. It's some dude in a hotel with all these people, and there's more to it than everything seems. And I was like, all right, this is the movie I want to watch. We're going to watch this movie. And then we didn't.
Yes. Yeah, no, it is disappointing when he does get killed really early on. And you're just like, what? No.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what did you think about the priest lounge singer subplot?
I mean, yeah, it was okay. I found her very boring. I just didn't really, I wasn't invested in any way in her character. I liked him as a character, but I feel like they did almost nothing with it. It was just kind of like, yep, he's here to steal the money. Well, not steal, but he's here to take the money back, and then he took the money back, and then that was the movie.
Well, but he also has, dementia.
Yes, he also has dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like I said, I liked his character. I liked that storyline as well. I was invested in that storyline, but then it kind of it didn't really go the route I was thinking. I guess I felt like there was halfway through the movie, there was a movie that I wanted to see, and they didn't let me see it, and then I just was like, well, now I wanted to see that movie. Let me see that movie. Could you just remake this where I get to watch that movie that I actually wanted to watch?
Yeah, I mean, the FBI agent is that's the way they sort of get everyone else to the place where the plot needs to be for the rest of the movie to happen. And then they kind of get rid of him, which is a shame, because he's one of the best parts. I would agree.
Yeah.
Because I also agree that the last half, when Thor shows up.
Yes.
When what's his name? Not Chris Pine. That's Captain
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth. Yeah.
Is that right? No, wait. It's
Chris Hemsworth.
It is Thor. Yeah. Why was it?
The Hemsworth brothers. Yeah.
Why in my mind was I thinking it was Captain America? It's definitely not. No, you're right. It is. It's Chris Hemsworth. I was in my mind it was Captain America for a second.
No, that's not Captain America.
Okay,
that's
but by the way,
Hemsworth.
can I just say? Because this was made after. This is a recent movie, right?
Yeah.
This was made after Stranger Things. Could they have not ripped off the Billy character from Stranger Things more? He's got the same look with
Oh yeah, okay.
Obviously a different character. I
yes.
mean, to the best of my knowledge, Billy's not a cult leader.
No,
in Stranger Things.
I
But I mean, the curly hair, the shitty mustache, the constantly taking his shirt off. I was like, oh, it's Billy from Stranger Things, but played by Chris Hemsworth for some reason.
Because he reminds me a lot of not Billy from Stranger Things, but the trailer park guy from Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah,
that drug dealer character in Twin Peaks,
whatever the hell
murders
his name
is. Or gets murdered.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spoilers
for Twin Peaks, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. Crap. Twin Peaks. It's we should talk about Twin Peaks at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, kind of like a menacing type of character, but yeah.
Yeah, I hated his guts.
Oh yeah, I mean, but he such a cartoonish villain.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
It wasn't there wasn't anything nuanced about him because that was the other. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say,
you're making a face.
It was. I didn't hate him as much. I hated the other actress.
Oh, the little girl.
The little girl.
Oh,
whatever.
God. Yeah, I was so glad when she was dead.
Yes. Oh, that was so cathartic.
Yeah, I mean that was the only good part about that part of the movie. I was like, oh, good, he shot her.
You didn't like when the sniper
That was, yeah, I mean, that
And
was,
then-
but okay, then that's the thing. This movie is filled with a bunch of scenes that I otherwise would have liked in a movie that I don't think did anything. Because here's the thing. Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say that's what I like about the movie is it's not trying to like do something necessarily. It's just like, hey, here's some fun movie. It's kind of compelling. It's got some twists and turns. Mm-hmm. There's nothing. It's not saying anything profound about the world. Mm-hmm. But it's not like Transformers.
Yeah.
It's just a movie.
Yeah.
It's something you watch to have fun.
Yeah, I guess. I when I think about a movie like this, I think a lot of like I was getting because initially I was getting very Tarantino vibes from this movie. I was getting a lot of vibes of a lot of different directors out of this movie. But the one thing that I was getting towards the end, once I realized that this movie was not going to pay off, I was like, this is not going to go anywhere. This is just going to be one of those movies. I was like, this is a very Coen Brothers type of deal, you know? Because a lot of Coen, I mean, like Big Lebowski, like No Country for Old Men, like all that. I feel like their movies always have like a way of like, they're not really about anything. They're just kind of a little ride that you go on.
Yeah, they're a snapshot of life for somebody.
Yes.
Or a group of people.
Yes, the most interesting part of perhaps otherwise very boring.
And that's exactly what this was.
And at the end of like the end of Burn After Reading, you know, like you get to the end of that movie, and even though basically to the movie's own like, you know, admission, like nothing actually other than the lady gets her surgery, like nothing actually gets solved in the movie.
Have you seen A Serious Man?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Because I mean that movie like goes out of its way to not resolve anything.
Yeah. And I mean, even like even No Country for Old Men to some degree is like doesn't really have any I mean, like the bad guy gets away at the end, you know.
No Country for Old Men was a book first, so I feel like it's a little bit more.
Oh, it was a book first.
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that.
And like because the whole point of No Country for Old Men is evil wins.
Yes, yeah. But so yeah, I'm sorry, spoiler alerts for like a bunch of different movies.
We probably put a warning at the start of our podcast.
We're gonna spoil parts of Twin Peaks, No Country for Old Men, and perhaps various others.
Be up to date on your pop culture references.
Yes, or even not quite flat culture references. Who knows?
Sure.
But yeah, like I found at the end of this movie, I was like, okay, this seems like a very Coen Brothers-esque movie, and like it's just like a story, but not really like. It's not doing anything on purpose, like to say anything. There's no but then it ended in such like a nice way. It's like he goes and sees her sing at the lounge. They get away with the money, and I'm like, so you dropped the ball even there for me, because it's like you could have just ended the movie with everybody dying in the fire, and I probably would have thought it was a better movie than what it ended up being.
No, you can't let everyone die in the fire, because then I wish I knew the character names. This is really bad.
I know, I only saw it.
The cult leader's favorite daughter,
whatever the hell she was supposed to be,
horrible
feral child.
Just like the last 30 minutes of the movie was just like, okay, that character cannot win. Whatever that character wants needs to be denied. So just like they need to live, they need to get the money out.
So this movie reminded me a lot of Reservoir Dogs is what it reminded me of.
Sure.
And at the end of the movie, I was like, I really wish I just watched Reservoir Dogs again. That was how I felt about it.
You can only watch Reservoir Dogs so many times.
That's true.
Before you want to watch something new, and this is there to fill that gap.
So what was your favorite parts of this movie? I'll stop shitting on it for just a little bit. You can tell. And that's the thing. I'm not even just necessarily shitting on the movie. I didn't think it was a bad movie. I just think that in about I had to keep it in my brain for a week so that I could talk about it on this podcast. Yeah. But I think that after today, I'm never going to think about this movie again.
So I watched this movie a couple months before you did, and I certainly didn't think about it at all. After I watched it. However, I did go back and watch a few key scenes just to be refreshed. And I gotta say, the movie really layers in the hints and the mysteries. Mm-hmm. Like the scene where the priest is checking in to the hotel for the first time. Not only does he have to spin the coin and to figure out which room he wants to be in, because he has no idea which room he wants to be in.
Yeah, he knows it's one of the two.
But there was another part where he also does a forget, essentially.
Okay.
There's a lot of there's clearly a lot of foreshadowing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, even right in the beginning of the movie, he kind of plays off that he doesn't have absolutely no idea where he is and how he got there.
Yeah, but you think that's an act.
Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, I can see on a second watch of the movie that would be very apparent. It's like, aha, he doesn't actually know what's going on.
And the heroin addicted bellhop with PTSD.
Yes.
And, the fact that Sweet, who's the only character name I remember, she's actually a terrific lounge singer. Even though the FBI agent literally calls her a prostitute in the lounge.
Yes.
It's just like, we don't judge. And she just has this, sly smile on her face because she knows better.
Well, and that's, I find that, because I like the concept of, all of these people kind of being not who they say they are.
Yeah.
And I feel like her was kind of the least interesting of that. It's like, okay, nobody knows who she are. She's a lounge singer. And then that's basically it.
Yeah.
The FBI agent, dropping his accent, and,
yes,
being a completely different person. The priest, I was actually very confused about the priest because I thought, for some reason, the dude, were they all dressed up, in priest robes?
I think so, yes.
Because, I thought that he was the guy that shot the other guy. And I guess, obviously, he wasn't. It was his brother. But I was like, okay, so why doesn't he remember where the money is? Yeah. He was literally... And why did he wait 10 years to get it? But, I mean, obviously, we find out why. He went to jail for 10 years. Yeah. So, but yeah.
And the FBI agent was certainly the most interesting.
And I was even compelled by, the hotel itself. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a very interesting... they could have killed the FBI agent and then, still... done a whole movie on why this hotel is what it is,
I mean, they kind of answered those questions pretty immediately, though.
They did, and that was kind of well, there's the mystery. That's what I was really wanting to find out. I'm okay, that's what it is. Yeah. It's there was nothing more to it.
It's a mob hotel.
And I guess in my mind, I was thinking, I can't remember what the name of I think it's J.J. Holmes, I believe it is. Who's
the murderer.
The murderer who had that crazy puzzle box murder hotel. Yep. I was thinking it was going to be something like that. I just kept thinking this was going to be another movie, and I guess expectations ruin everything, right?
Sure, yeah.
And this is definitely partially on me of I just started being oh, the movie's gonna be about this. Nope. Okay. The movie's gonna be about this. No. Okay. The movie's gonna be about this. Nope. And then I was we're running out of things I'm interested in. What is the movie gonna be? And I trusted the movie. Because you suggested this, and you always suggest good movies. Mm-hmm. So I was okay, I'm gonna let this play out. I'm gonna see what this movie has in store for me. And then my wife and I, we got to the end of it. I looked over. I was like, "So what'd you think?" She was like, "Well, it was a bad time." I was just like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I thought too."
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and present this movie as something more than it is. Yeah. Certainly.
Well, and have you ever seen the movie Stalker?
You mean
with Andrea?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Stalker.
Yeah, I've not seen all Stalker. No.
Okay, because that's
it's a very long movie.
It's a very long. It's a very slow movie.
Yeah.
It's, for some people, it essentially has no payoff. I would go so far as to argue that it has barely a payoff. But it's a very. The thing is that I find that to be a very good movie. I think Stalker is a great movie. My wife hated me for making her watch that. She was like, I can't believe that you put me through that stupid movie.
Stalker is very boring.
It's a very boring movie. Yeah. But so it's not that I'm incapable of liking movies that don't have a lot going. It's not that I'm capable of liking movies that have essentially no payoff. I don't know. I felt like this movie, it tread a middle ground, and that was my biggest problem with it. It could have gone more in either direction. It could have gone way more Tarantino and just played up the blood spray and all that. It could have gone way more muted and realistic. And it just did neither. And then I was like, okay, I guess it just kind of ended up in mediocrity for me, which is too bad because it's I felt like it had a lot of potential for me. I was excited about watching it. I was really excited about the betrayals or early on where it's it seemed like people knew more about each other than they actually, which didn't end up actually being the case.
This is not Tarantino's
Pulp Fiction.
No. The movie he released recently where they're all in a cabin.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen that yet?
I haven't seen that yet. I know.
Okay, I was about to say because, oh my god, it's going to be so bad if I can't remember the name of that movie though.
Go to the internet.
Yeah, just quickly. Yeah, no. The Hateful Eight. The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, haven't seen
The Hateful Eight is, because this movie is as much as it's not literally in one room, it is a one-room mystery.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's a one-room mystery. It's definitely one of those, single, it is literally a single setting.
Yeah, it's single setting, yes.
Single setting movie, and I'm cool with that.
But, yeah, so Hateful Eight, I'd say, is the artistic masterpiece version of a movie like this.
Maybe I need to see that, because...
Because that's, you would love Hateful Eight.
I'm sure I would.
It's amazing.
I love pretty much all.
There's no question there. And it just, I like this movie because it's mediocre, I guess. Really, is what it is. It's not, I didn't have to really try very hard to watch it. There wasn't anything challenging about it. It was well shot. The acting was good. Sound design was good. It ended satisfyingly for me. I was happy.
Fair enough.
And I watched it with the parents. So it was like, I wasn't sitting there by myself trying to dissect every moment of it.
Yeah, and I kind of wasn't either. Like, I didn't take any notes on this movie because I just wanted, when I first watch a movie, if I take notes, I'm not going to enjoy the movie, no matter what, unless it's Brick.
Sure. But you didn't take notes the first time you watched Brick, I bet.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I knew that I would ruin this movie for myself if I didn't, if I took any notes on it.
Yeah.
So I just sat down and I just watched it. But yeah, it just didn't. And maybe the other thing is the review that I got of this movie from of what your thoughts were from our parents was Steven loves this movie, which you did say at the beginning. You did say I love this movie, and I was just kind of like, so I was like, so this is a banger, this is a great movie.
It's not. Yeah,
and I went into it like, this is gonna be an amazing goddamn movie, and then I watched it and I'm like, okay. So I mean, maybe this movie is definitely a victim of higher expectations.
Yeah, because I watched it with no expectations.
Yeah,
so I was pleasantly surprised that it was a competently done, well acted movie.
Which is also too bad because this director has done a lot of stuff that I like. Well, I mean,
what else has he done?
Well,
who's the director actually? Even
well, let's look it up because he's done a bunch of stuff that you probably, I mean, you recognize, I'm sure, because he did Daredevil, like I believe the Netflix show.
Okay,
Drew Goddard, yeah.
Wow, I just knew immediately. Drew Goddard.
Yeah, he did Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh,
he
wow.
did Lost. He's done. I haven't seen Lost, but I've obviously.
He did Cloverfield.
He's in Cabin in the Woods. I mean, like, he's done good stuff that I really enjoyed, and I was just so let down by this. He did The Martian, which also I really enjoyed.
But this is his first. This is his directorial debut. Oh, he was a writer before all of this.
Oh, well, maybe he wrote, directed, and produced this, eh? Mm-hmm. Okay, well. Okay, I will say, Jeff Bridges in this, though.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very
Jeff
good.
Bridges always fantastic. Yeah. Jeff Bridges, great. Chris Hemsworth, great in this as a piece of garbage.
Yes, you really hate him.
John Hamm is in everything now, apparently. Yeah. It's just like he keeps showing up. I'm like, what the hell, John Hamm?
He's a good actor.
Are you running out of money? Do you need to get more work? Like, is that what's going on? You're just taking every role that's available to you? Because he's great, but I feel like I have seen trailers for or seen 6 different movies and TV shows that have him in it, and I'm just like, there he is, just keep showing up.
And actually, while we're at it, I want to just look up who these character names are.
Oh yes,
Rose.
We should have had this in front of us the whole time.
Yeah, really.
God, wouldn't that have been great?
Yeah, that would have been smart, and they were definitely not that.
So. And this movie also had those kind of elements of that kind of time period, like the Nixon era.
Yeah.
But playing in the background on a TV, and I wanted to be interested in that, and it never I don't know, it never really gripped me that much. Maybe I didn't pay enough attention to what was on the TV to really get anything out of that. I
don't even remember that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like this movie was trying to do so many different things that it just did nothing, and that's I mean, not a very helpful opinion of just I just didn't like it, everybody. If you get one thing from this whole thing is I didn't really care for it.
And I mean, again, and I'm not gonna counter argument you too hard.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that you should go out and you have to see this movie.
Yeah.
I think if you're bored on a Wednesday night and you had dinner and you're a little sleepy, maybe rent this movie and fall asleep in the last 45 minutes. But you'll really enjoy the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a popcorn flick. It's a popcorn flick. And I think if I went into it with that, I think I would have felt differently about it. That it's okay, this is just it's a movie that I'm going to watch. I'm never going to think about again.
Never.
And it's just just a movie,
There's another movie I watched recently, also with the parents, Death at a Funeral.
I've heard that's very good.
Yeah, but it's another movie where, you've watched it, you don't really ever need to think about it ever again. You get everything out of the movie pretty much the first time.
Yeah. There is some major chair squeakage.
Yeah,
hopefully it's not
apparently, yeah. I'm sure some intrepid viewers will be very bothered by the chair squeakage that we leave in.
Yes, driven to. I'll do my best to edit.
They're going to tear their headphones off and throw them on the floor and go, "Never again will we listen to this."
These bastards!
How dare they have squeaky chairs?
I did want to ask you a follow up from the previous podcast because we kind of glossed over it. And I never really got to talk to you about it. What is your favorite movie?
That's a very difficult question.
Okay.
What's your favorite movie?
You know what my favorite movie
Brick.
is. It's Brick.
Yeah.
We had a lengthy discussion on it one episode ago. If you had to give me a top 3.
I don't even know if I could do that, honestly.
Oh man.
That's very hard. That's a very hard question for me. I'm having that problem where I'm trying to think of all the movies I've ever seen at once, and thus can think of literally no movies at all.
Best movie out of the last 5 years. Does that narrow it down at all?
Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe it doesn't.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of movies. I have something in mind. I think I have something in mind. This is a more recent one. The Black Rainbow, Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Beyond the Black Rainbow. That I'd say is probably the movie that most took my breath away that I've seen recently that also came out recently.
Okay. What is this?
I've
never heard of this.
It is a very difficult movie to describe.
Okay.
It is an experience.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could describe the plot to you, but that really wouldn't.
It doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Is this one of these movies kind of like in the same vein as like what's the name of it? Like a Requiem for a Dream, where it's just kind of just like it's like, yeah, I mean you could summarize the plot, but it's like if you sit down and watch it, it's like it's a whole different movie.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes. It has a plot.
It's a movie you have to you just have to sit through and absorb into your body.
It's I think it came out before Stranger Things, but it is also very much an 80s aesthetic. Actually, maybe even a 70s aesthetic. A little bit farther back than Stranger Things even went.
Interesting.
But that might be when I think of movies that really pop into my mind. This one pops in.
Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, I have to check that out.
Yeah, because I mean, I also recently watched like 2001 for the first time. Apparently.
Really?
Because I thought I'd seen the whole movie before.
But you hadn't.
But apparently, I hadn't seen the first third of the movie, the monolith.
Oh my god!
Which is like the best part of the movie.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That's another movie though where it's kind of like, because I love 2001. Like I think it's a great movie.
Yes.
But it's another one of those movies where it's like you kind of get to the end of it, you're like, what the hell? What did I just watch?
I mean, you know what the actual like literal 2001 Space Odyssey story is like.
I think I do, but lay it on me.
So when he like there's like an alien race of like hyper intelligent super beings, and like they have evolved into super beings from their humanity state essentially.
Yes.
And so they send out the monolith.
Yep.
To first rise up humanity, and then when they see humanity has reached the next level, they send the monolith on Mars.
Yes.
And they capture the spaceman and send him through the weird acid trip. You know, tunnel, and then they put him in a zoo.
Yes.
And observe him for the rest of his life. And then once he dies, he becomes the Star Child.
Yes.
And they send him back to Earth as a literal giant fetus to ascend the rest of humanity.
Okay, cool. I mean,
yes.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yes.
I did actually know that. But
okay,
I could not have said that better myself. I don't think I could have summarized the plot that well.
None of my friends knew that. So I was like, no, that's all literal, actually. The giant baby fetus floating in space is actually a giant baby fetus floating in space.
It's like, all the things you see in this movie, none of this is an allegory. This is a literal giant fetus. Yeah. And we're going to shoot it at Earth. Yeah. And that's how it is.
But watching the scene where he, like, sees himself as old and then, like, is...
Yes.
Old, that never gets old watching that.
Oh, yeah. And
it's so powerful.
And it's such an interesting movie in the way that, I guess we're talking about 2001 Space Odyssey now. But it's so interesting the way that it's almost like 3 different movies.
It is.
You know, it's like a 3
It is, I mean, it's 3 different short stories.
Yeah. Exactly, and like they're all interconnected, but in such a and it's like they're barely in the same genre.
It's actually 4 movies.
Okay.
There's the monkey part at the beginning.
There's the monkey part at the beginning, yes. Yeah, I mean, there's the monkey part at the beginning.
It's a documentary, essentially.
Yeah. But, like, and, like, the way when it transitions to, like, the whole, you know, like, I mean, it goes, from, like, this kind of, like, weird, you know, monkeys seeing the monolith action, you know, and then it goes off, like, when you get into this, like, horror movie for a while, you know, then that ends, and you go into, you know, like, just trippy space world in a white room, and then in, you know, like the friggin'
that's it.
Yeah, and that's the movie.
You're done.
And that's it.
And you're very confused.
I'm trying to think, because there's a couple other movies that I've watched that are kind of like that, and I you know, sometimes it really works and sometimes it really doesn't, and in that one it really did. You know, they really pulled it off, because you have something like the Tree of Life, which does a similar thing, and I don't know if
don't know if it does it as well as 2001.
I don't think it does.
Yeah,
I don't think it pulls it off. I think the Tree of Life is just kind of, crammed so far up its ass.
Maybe. I don't know. All I know is that movie makes me cry like a baby.
Tree of Life?
Oh, wait. Tree of Life.
Tree of Life.
Not.
No, you're thinking of.
Yeah.
You're thinking of The Fountain.
The Fountain. I'm thinking
The Fountain is a.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
thinking of
Tree of Life.
Tree of Life, yes.
Yeah,
That's
no.
the movie where it's just like.
Yeah, no, the Fountain.
Isn't the last 40 minutes of Tree of Life just like lava coming out of the ocean?
Or something like. Well, I remember in the Tree of Life, there's
I saw that in theaters.
Oh my god, you poor baby! Because there's a point in the Tree of Life, I think maybe I feel like it's been so long since I've seen the movie. I think it's like 3/4 of the way in the movie, where it literally, I feel like it's like for like literally 45 minutes, it's just like scenes from the documentary Planet Earth.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, movie, if you did like 10 minutes of that, I might have been able to forgive you. But you literally made me sit there for 45 minutes and just see random scenes from, scenic parts of Earth. It's like, yeah, that's all really nice and everything, but, could you not, please? But no, The Fountain is the other one I was going to talk about that I do think really does. Yeah, Darren Aronofsky. I think he really does pull off that, the three storylines.
Yes. Yeah, he interweaves them perfectly.
I love The Fountain. And The Fountain makes me cry like a baby. I mean, that movie's so sad.
Who's Tree of Life director then? I was thinking Darren Aronofsky was. It's
No. It's got Brad Pitt.
It's the other guy.
The other guy?
That guy. Tree of Life, yes. Terrence Malick, that's
Terrence
right.
Malick.
Yes.
What else has he done?
That's what I'm looking. Because I remember I went to see Tree of Life in a group, and we were all very, the Thin Red Line.
That's a weird transition to go from the Thin Red Line to the Tree of Life.
We were all expecting, it was his first new movie in a while, I think. Yeah.
Maybe he shouldn't have.
And he returned with that.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
Good for him.
Because the Tree of Life, it's like, it follows a family on a farm and the 1950s-ish.
Yeah, I mean, I get what he was going for. It was just such it's a movie that you could have cut so much out of and made it a much snappier movie.
It reminds me a lot of the movie with Jennifer Lawrence recently, where she plays the Virgin Mary, or not. Yeah, she plays the Virgin Mary.
Okay.
But
I have not seen
it's
this.
not she's not explicitly playing the Virgin Mary.
Okay, it's just an allegory of some
Yeah,
type.
but it's such a one-to-one allegory that you're sort of like, you could have just done the Bible story actually.
Yeah.
Mother.
Oh, I've heard that was good. Oh, it's Darren Aronofsky. Look at that. He just keeps showing up.
Yeah.
We think we talked tangentially about several of his movies. Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, now Mother. Oh God, he's a really good director.
Mm-hmm.
I really like.
Oh, and yeah, that's right. Javier Bardem plays God, which is fun. Although
I'm into it.
It's weird.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything that he's done that I don't care for? I think that he's pretty much exclusively every single one of his movies has been pretty damn good. Yeah, Pi, I loved. Requiem for a Dream. I haven't seen Below.
He wasn't the director for that anyway.
Oh, he wasn't the director. Okay, I see that. Okay, The Fountain. Yeah, love that. The Wrestler. Oh God.
The Wrestler is so good.
I would put that movie definitely in a top 5 for me of some of my favorite movies. I mean, that was such a movie.
Yeah, The Wrestler is too crushing.
Well, I mean,
for me to consider it a top movie for me.
Here's the thing, right? So you say that, and I do know what you're talking about, but
I mean favorite, not best.
Well, it's crushing, but at the same time, it's he's obviously okay. So I guess we're gonna have to add this to list of spoiler movies. We're gonna spoil a little bit of The Wrestler.
Yeah.
So coming up right now is at the end of the movie when he's basically gonna kill himself essentially by continuing to do what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's almost uplifting.
No,
in a Darren Aronofsky kind of way.
I disagree with that heavily.
Oh, because for me, I'm he's he can't change his life, and he's doing what he really likes to do, and it's the only thing that makes him happy. So he's gonna just keep doing it. It's
he's trapped in an endless cycle of pain, and he can't escape it, and so he kills himself. Yeah. That is a horribly depressing.
Yeah. And on the list of Darren Aronofsky movies, I think that's pretty uplifting for a Darren Aronofsky movie.
I guess. I don't know.
That's my assessment of that.
By the way, I changed my answer. My favorite movie of all time is Airplane.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's the funniest movie in existence.
Is it the funniest movie in existence?
Yes.
It is very funny. I'm trying to think, because there is a movie that cracks me the hell up, and I'm trying to think of what it is. But it's definitely on the list.
Airplane. Yeah. Airplane is great.
It's a great movie.
I think it has the most jokes per second of any movie, if you measure it.
Is it funnier than History of the World Part 1? Because, Mel Brooks... I
don't think I've seen History of the World Part 1.
Oh, man. Because, Airplane is a great movie.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt. But, like, History of the World Part 1, it's pretty funny.
I think I've seen clips maybe from History of the World Part 1.
Me, like, that, Life of Brian, you know.
Not Part 2?
Yeah. Could they make that? I would love if they actually made that, because it's like you can come back and make another one. So I think what we've determined is you like a lot of movies. Me, I like a lot of movies too, but I definitely have one that's my favorite, and I won't shut up about it.
Yeah, I don't. Because I struggle with the best versus favorite too.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, I think that's a fair point. Because I mean, I don't think Brick is the best movie of all time. I just like it more than any other movie.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I like that, which is why I was so keen to talk about it. Perhaps too keen. I had way too much.
Yeah,
to say.
we only started too strong.
It's almost one of those things where it's like it's hard to talk about a movie you like too much, because then all you want to do is list all the things you like about it without actually saying like anything about the movie.
Yeah.
Also, tangentially and not related to movies for a moment, but like, oh my god, can I just say I hate listening to the sound of my own voice.
Oh my god, dude! Not only do I hate the sound of my own voice, but like the way I structure my words, just like I couldn't stand it, dude. I tried listening. My sentence structure makes me cringe. I'm just like, do I really speak like that?
And if you want to like really put a spotlight on all of your like mannerisms and like things that you say, you know, it's just like, oh god, that's how I sound in real life to other people. Yeah. It's horrifying.
Yeah, how does anyone like just not slap me in the face constantly, right?
Yeah, it's like I need to like just go like lock myself in a room and never come out again so that no one can ever hear me
become one of those monks that makes a vow to never speak again.
And what's hilarious is like, so you say that and like I listen to you, I'm like, oh my god, Steven sounds so much better than me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm like, man, if only I could be as like eloquent and clear as Jason, and I'm just fucking throwing words everywhere willy-nilly.
Yeah. And then like I'm sitting there watching my stupid laugh on the audio readout, and it's just like I'm like, oh Jesus, is it really that rhythmic and weird? Yeah. It's like if you ever want to like make yourself sad, just record yourself doing anything, and you'll just ruin your entire life.
Yeah. So I'm never gonna listen to these audio recordings.
All right, I will take that pain on for you and listen to myself for like 2+ hours multiple times to do all of the editing passes.
No thank you. Yeah, you please do all of that, because I tried really hard to listen to it, and it's just like I would literally be like, okay, I'm just gonna listen to it, and then I would find myself unconsciously stopping it and taking my headphones off and be like, oh oops, I meant to keep listening to that, but I guess it was so bad that I just had to stop right then.
Your body just reflexively just removes the headphones and chucks your computer out the window.
I need to do something else.
Nothing that I'm doing is happy right now. Goodbye.
It's very strange.
Oh, fantastic. All right. Well, what are we at now? I mean, is this a Christmas episode? Yeah.
This is our special Christmas episode.
Special Christmas episode. We're taking a little break from our family to record a little thing. So we figured this was a good movie to kind of take a look at. Yeah. Kind of got off into the woods a little bit with talking about Steven's favorite movie, or not talking about his favorite movie, as the case may be.
I still don't know what it is actually.
Yeah. But next time, something else.
Yeah, something else.
Yeah. But Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah. Happy holidays. Glorious Yule, and happy
Festivus. Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
Perfect.